Okay, thank you, Mark, for joining me on this fourth segment of the dating segment. Yay! As you heard last week's story, I was having a real bad issue about getting a guy, but finally I had somebody I can rely upon, and he's here today, and we'll be talking to him about dating. For those who are still listening, thank you, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Mark, can you please introduce yourself to the listeners?
Hello, good morning. My name is Mack. I'm from Kenya. Kenya is in Africa. I live in Nairobi. Nairobi is the capital city of Kenya. And I am a consultant in IT and HR issues. Yes, that's me.
Thank you for coming, Mark. I know you're under duress because you only did this because of me, but the ladies will truly appreciate it.
Absolutely. I'll try my best.
No. We are really glad to have you here. Now, as you know, we are talking about dating. So with your experience, can you please explain to me what dating is to you?
According to me, dating is meeting someone with the aim of getting to know each other, probably for relationship issues, or if you want to settle down for marriage or something. So dating comes as a first process when you guys get to know each other. Because most of the people, when you're meeting a lady, you actually don't know our preferences, what she likes, what she doesn't like. So in the process of dating, that is when you get to know each other at a different level, and try to accommodate each other in the relationship.
Okay, talking of accommodation.
Yes.
What are the rules of dating? Because can you date multiple people at the same time, or do you really need to know somebody for a certain time before you decide, this is not it for me? What do you think?
I would say you don't date two people at a time. You don't engage two partners. You move with one person, but okay, for some people that on the ground things don't happen like that. But if you are serious about dating, you engage one person, you go for an outing, you stick together, probably pay visits, she pays visits to your place, you go for lunch dates, dinner dates, and from the interaction, you will be able to understand and tell what this person likes, what she doesn't like, and whatever she doesn't like, how do you accommodate it as a person? So that the two of you can be able to live together and have no issues in your relationship.
I know, I find that quite interesting because when I was talking to the ladies were like, no, we need to date two different guys and then we can decide who is more compatible, because that's what the dating process is. And here you are, you're like, no, I need to date one person and then figure out, is this the person I want? So for how long do you figure out? Do you take 1 year? Do you take 6 months? Do you take, how long are we supposed to date only one person before we go to the next?
From my experience, from my personal experience, depends on what is your objective of dating. Because some people will date just to make friends. Others will date to get a partner and settle down with that partner. If your goal is to get the right partner for you to settle down and probably get married, I think the first point is to sit down and have a plan. I need to get married by this time. If I need to get married by this time, I have to date this person for a certain duration of time. That duration of time is defined by I think that will depend on how compatible you guys are. Some people, you click in 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. For others, I don't know. Some people play. You'll find some ladies will play hard to get. I understand. I think you understand what hard to get is.
We have what commonly known in Swahili, lazima turinge.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, and and also depends on the other person on the other side. Is that person really ready to settle down or to date? Because you might be pushing hard, and that person is also not really, like, they're scared of getting into this relationship. They're not, one foot is on the other side, the other one is on the other side.
So when do we have this conversation so that we can know that what I wrote down is what the other person is? Because I don't want to be somewhere, like for me, I believe within 6 months, I should know whether I want to move forward or come out of this relationship. So when do we have this conversation of what do you really want? And this is what I want, without scaring the other person or sounding psycho.
True. When you meet a lady, you first show your interest. You express your interest in her before you ask for a date, and now begin dating. And I think these conversations depends. You can have that over a lunch date, probably on your third, fourth dating session. But you should not bring these things on the first date. Otherwise, that person, she will run away from you.
So because, I should not go that I want number of children on date one.
Exactly. I'll give you an experience, a personal experience.
Please do. We love personal stories.
I dated this lady. We met on the February of 2021.
Oh, pandemic. Okay.
And she was very clear on what she wants. She told me that our dating session should be very short because I need to get married. I need to have gone to the church because she's a bit Christian. I need to have a wedding by October, and we're in February. That caught me.
That is 8 months. But that is 8 months. I am a 6 months person. I would have taken you to the altar by August.
And you understand from different cultures. Having a wedding. Actually, she mentioned a wedding. Having a wedding is the last result of a dating process, of the dating process. Because from our culture, I'll give you an example from our culture. You date this person.
Yes.
You sit down and decide if this is the right person.
Exactly.
Then you introduce that person to your parents, and she introduces you to her parents.
Yes, so that you're not from the same DNA.
Exactly. Then after everything is okay on that, now you sit. Okay, it's still in your dating process, but now you're getting it's a knowing me, knowing you session. She can visit your home. You can visit their home. You can meet her parents. She can meet your parents. Then you have to do something called in our culture. It's the dowry payment process. After the dowry payment process, that is when now you start arranging for a wedding. Because some ladies will prefer to have a wedding before moving into your
house.
Moving in together. Yes, moving in together. Others will not mind, but some will prefer to have a wedding before. Then I told her, okay, it's a process. We're in February.
And you've just met.
And we've just met. We've just met. Do you know we dated for 2 months,
Uh-huh.
and she told me, she asked me again, are we still on track with our
Wedding.
plan? Yes.
Uh-huh.
Then I said, oh my God, now this is a trap.
What do you mean it is a trap? The lady
It
lost
is
what she wanted.
exactly fine.
No, I know,
You
I understand. It's
that is
aggressive.
a challenge. That
Uh-huh.
is a challenge in the that we face in the dating process, because one,
Uh-huh.
your other partner has preferences and you have your
Ah,
own preferences. And remember, you guys are adults.
exactly.
Yes. And getting to accommodate and understand why you should accommodate those issues becomes a problem.
Ah.
But remember, the bottom line is love.
Yeah, but talking of love, I don't think when it comes to marriage, love is as important as communication, because
True.
you
Communication is
you
very,
can love
very
somebody with all your heart, but as long as you don't communicate truly and honestly, I don't think that love will form that bond. Maybe I'm wrong.
true.
Tell me
True.
about it.
Communication plays a very important role
Uh-huh.
in the love, let me call it love making process. Not
Uh-huh.
the love making, but
The,
loving you, loving me.
me,
You
the
understand?
dating. Yeah, the
Yes,
dating.
yes. The
Please, not
loving you, loving me
not
process.
Netflix and chill, brother. This is
Yeah,
the
exactly.
entire process. Please get your mind out of the gutter.
Yes, yes. Communication is very important.
Uh-huh.
And there are channels. You have to define your channels of communication.
Uh-huh. So,
Because one,
uh,
I'll give you another experience in my
oh,
dating process.
I love this. Tell me, tell me.
We sat down and decided that phone calls,
Uh-huh.
because it depends, mostly people during the day people are busy.
Ah,
So if and some people will want you to call them all the time and, hey baby, how are you, how's your day? That's normal, right? For in the dating process.
okay, I don't know, because I'm not that kind of a person. I prefer my space, and especially when I'm in the office.
Exactly. Now you're talking. Now you're talking.
Because,
I'm
like,
not that kind of a person of how are you? You had your lunch. You've done this.
exactly.
Come on.
I ask my friend, she tells me that because her and the husband are kind of in two different countries, and she was like, I talk with my husband for 3 hours, and I'm like, talk about what?
Uh, you're talking. We are on the same page.
No, she's like, when I reach home, I have to put on my video, and then for the next 3 hours, he has to see me, and we have to talk. And I looked at her and I said, talk about what? I
This
would
is very
understand.
interesting.
I would
This is
understand.
very interesting.
I would
And
understand.
yes.
One day off, one day on, communicate, because communication, I believe, is important. But
It's
everyday
important.
communication, what stories are you telling each other about the same job? About, and she's like, you would be surprised about what we talk about.
But then, Gina, I also think
Uh-huh.
depends on the, let me not call it level of maturity, but uh, for how long you've been dating. Because
Uh-huh.
I personally find it, I ask people,
Uh-huh.
why should you talk to someone for 2 hours? What are
Uh-huh.
you every day? What are
Uh-huh.
you talking about?
Uh-huh.
And some, especially the young teens,
Uh-huh.
the young guys will say, no, we have to catch up, we have to feel connected, we have to do 1, 2, 3. I'm like, come on.
No. I do agree there are people who can talk and talk about everything nonstop. And it's always good when you get such a person. I can talk nonstop and I can talk everything. But for me, I don't think I am that person who will call you every hour and ask, have you eaten? How is your day going? I am busy. I don't have time to look after you. I'm not your mother. Sorry.
I'm sure.
Don't
But
take it
then,
personally. I am still single.
true.
Isn't it?
Very true, very true, very true.
But at
These
the end
things
of the day,
happen.
no, I understand, because even my younger friends, that's what they say. They say, we need to talk to the person, we need to look after the person. But I'm like, are you not just suffocating the individual? And they're
True.
like, oh, you
Very
don't
true.
know what love is. Maybe I don't know what love is. But at the same time, as a person who
Yes.
loves telling stories, I don't
Yes.
picture myself, like you said, talking to somebody every
True.
hour.
True.
Come
True.
on.
Very true.
The space is supposed to create some missing. The space is supposed to create some excitement, so that the next time you meet the
Excitement. Yeah.
person, you have something
Yes.
constructive to talk about for the next 5 hours, non-stop. Good for you if you can find
Communication.
somebody. Exactly. Good for you if you can get somebody and you talk each day, and you talk every hour, and you
Yes.
talk something substantial. I admire those people, but for me, I'm sorry.
No.
sweetie. In fact, you will be calling me. My dad actually, no offense, and this is not a dating whatever. My dad told me, you don't love me
Yes.
anymore. And I was like, why? He's like, you're not calling me. And I'm like, but dad, I just talked to you. He's like, no, you talked to me a month ago. This is my own father. That's what I love the most. And he's telling me
True.
you
True.
talked to me over a month ago. Now what about a man? Hey, you will wait for my
True.
phone. I'll be like, sorry, I forgot. It's not I forgot. I am busy.
Yeah, you're busy. You have a busy day. You have things to look at.
For example, like right now, I come from work and I need to
Yes.
go to classes.
True.
Then from classes, I need to come and study for other classes, because
Exactly.
I was idiotic enough to register for 3 exams, which are all happening in September, October, and November.
And you have to pass those exams.
And I can't afford to fail because I do not have the money to pay for them again. So now I need to make sure that I come from work, I go for my classes, come for my classes, come again here at home, study, try and get my 8 hours of sleep, because if I don't get my 8 hours of sleep, I'm cranky. No offense, I love you, but do I look like I want to communicate another 2 hours when I should be sleeping?
I think then
that's why I'm still single.
Don't worry, you'll get a partner. You know, this issue of communication also, you meet a partner and she's like, babe, I need to go shopping. Can you please come with me? You have your schedule. You don't want to say no. Then the other party will say on the other side, if you really love me, you can always create time for anything.
Exactly.
And in reality, the reality is that there's not, in your busy schedule, you can afford time after your work is done, but that will be late night.
Exactly.
Or over the weekends.
Yes. Wait for my weekend, which happens to be on a Friday and a Saturday. I will talk to you as much as you want. And we'll have 5 hours and we'll go out and eat, because I love
Exactly.
eating.
You
like
love
you
eating.
Said, you met a girl and she wanted you to be calling her every 2 hours to find out whether the scenario has changed in the office and she has moved to another office. Come on.
Exactly. Or get a partner who will always call you to vent. You understand what I mean?
Oh, I'm that partner.
Something happens in the office. Hey, baby, you know, there is this person who's done this to me. I feel so bad. I'm like, oh my God, now what is this?
So talking about that, do you think we as individuals should learn emotional intelligence? Because emotional intelligence is key to communication, so that we understand. Or are we as a generation saying the longer we talk, the more connected we are? But aren't the statistics showing differently? We are talking a lot more, but becoming more lonely. So what do you think?
Emotional intelligence is very, very important. But as a generation, I don't think we take that as important as it should be. Because one, your partner, when you're interacting with someone you've never known before, you'll have to understand, if I see a red flag in that person, how do I address it? How do I absorb that? Because there are misunderstandings. The way you interpret something is not the same way the other person interprets it, right?
Exactly, yes. Uh-huh.
Yes, and that person might be innocent according to your understanding,
Uh-huh.
but what you're thinking is that what is happening is not right, right?
Ah, you're like,
Yeah, so
this
yeah,
situation is not okay, but how do I go
is
about it without hurting the other
exactly.
person?
Exactly. And do you confront that issue with fear that this person might run away?
Oh, no,
It's
I get
the
what you
dating
mean.
process. The dating process is very, very complex, and at the same time, it's very simple.
It depends on how you put about it. So that's why I said communication, emotional intelligence creates the
True,
perfect. And I think that's the thing, that's the key ingredient our parents had. Because we are not saying they never had issues,
true.
okay? Because I remember there was a time we were gathering with my relative and they were telling us the story. My auntie was making all of us laugh because she was like, she remembers the first day of her marriage and now she had to put a pillow in between as a model. And then the husband sleeping the other side. And then she was like, I wish I knew that there was something called separate bedrooms because that time I would have slept. But at the same time,
Yes,
I appreciate the whole, we had to put pillows and understand each other. But this generation
and
of viewers do not understand that I can have a pillow and the
yes,
person sleep the other side and I sleep this other side. And in the morning,
yes,
when both of us have cooled down, we talk about it.
yes, exactly. These people, most of us don't. This we see that as that disconnect as a failure, especially with men.
Ah,
Ladies will try to show their problems
uh-huh,
differently, right?
uh-huh,
Some will not talk, others will cry. I have a friend who cries, like literally crying.
uh-huh. Some of us are loud like me.
She'll cry on your shoulder, and she'll tell you it's gone, it's done. Let's move
Exactly.
on.
Let's move on. Let's talk about it.
Exactly.
And that's why we're saying
Yes.
communication is key. But the problem is that we are having a generation from the millennium to generation Z that has a different concept about what communication is. Like
True.
I
Very
had
true.
to make a bonus video on my YouTube channel because it was becoming really ridiculous. When I was looking for a guy, my friends were
Yes.
like, put it up because I'm in every social media. I'm on Tinder, I'm on Bumble, I'm on OkCupid. I'm in others which I don't even know what. I need to look at my phone. I think my phone has been like, okay, this one has gone to sleep because I'm no longer active there. And I go as me, I go as Gina and I put my pictures and I put my everything. Now, when I
Yes.
put my Instagram handle there so that people can DM me, I got a lot of DMs, a lot. But 90% of them did not want to talk about my dating story. To them, they were not interested. To them, I like your picture. You must be my friend. What I wanted was not a concept. And I'm thinking, what the hell is going on? Don't these people understand that I have the right to decide whether, not even date you, whether I can be your friend?
Friend. Exactly. Exactly. And that is a problem with the social media. The social media tries to complement the dating process.
Yeah,
People
because
will chat. People will chat for 2 days. They want to meet and probably spend time together. You
yeah,
don't know this person. This person
exactly,
has a different lifestyle
exactly.
from what is portrayed in the social media. You don't know what this person likes, apart from hitting the like button. But there are other things that this person, right? And
Exactly.
emojis. Apart from, it's a
I,
big problem.
I don't know emojis. I'm the worst person to chat with me. My friend Lara, she, she,
Yes.
she checked my phone when she was in Qatar and she was looking at me those ones of, seriously, this is how you chat? And I'm like, yes. She's like, now I see why you're still single. Because she was like, you're too formal. You should even put some emojis. I'm like, I'm not formal, I'm just direct. She's like, but this
Exactly.
is the
Exactly.
dating world.
Exactly.
There's a language for face to face and there's a language for online. Now let's talk about online. Where is the best place to bingo? Because they, like I say, there's somebody like me. I totally do not understand online dating. And trust me, I've been there for over 20 years. Like,
Yes.
you remember Yahoo and Hotmail
Yes,
when they
Yahoo,
had
yes.
those chat mails? Yes. And I ended up introducing my friends to some of the people I was chatting with, and now they're still married. But here I am. Still single.
Probably, see, being single is a choice, right?
Exactly.
Because it's not that, it's not an answer to that you've not gotten someone. You might be single because what you're looking for, you've not actually met what the person that you want to date and probably get married to, right?
No, I say I'm single because I'm in the wrong region.
Now that takes me back to a question I would love to ask you.
Ask
Do
me.
you believe in long distance relationships?
Oh yes, I have seen them work. I have totally seen long distance. Like I said, in the early whatever, when we had Yahoo, when
Yes.
before even with that messenger, even before the video came in, I used to chat with people. And I remember this started because of high school. We had this thing for pen pal, and we had to write to some people.
True, yeah.
And so I wrote to some people in the States, and I remember, and then they replied back because they were Kenyans who were raised in state and they wanted to connect. So we started, go to the post office, send and whatever, and we became really good friends, and we are absolutely good friends up to now. But what happened is that some of those people, I introduced them to my friend. So this is free. Yahoo. So by the time Yahoo was coming, they transitioned to Yahoo, and I see them. They have been married for over 20 years, and the marriage is strong from my perspective, because honestly, I cannot say I know exactly what goes on. You get it? That is one thing I cannot say. But from my perspective, they're still together, they're still strong, and they're about 2 to 3 of my friends, and everything is going on. Do I believe in a long distance relationship? Yes, because one of the 3 times I was ever proposed to was by a guy who was in long distance. And I always say that was the best person I should have married. So
then what happened?
I was young, I was naive, and I said no. I remember my friends were like, no, you should do it. And I think I was so scared of being somebody's wife. And I was like, no, it's not, whatever. But reflecting back, I'm like, oh, I should have married that guy. Should have said yes. I should have said, okay, let's do this. The distance might have scared me, yes, but and the whole moving from Kenya, going to the States might have scared me. But he was a nice guy because he used to come to Kenya, he used to visit me, he used to do everything. You get it? So do I believe in long distance? Yes, long distance can work. It depends on people. Just the same way I tell people, I have seen people getting their husband from Tinder, but if you ask somebody, they're like, that site is all about people who want to Netflix and chill. No, we are out there. And we are all looking. So right. Are you trying to say we are all Netflixing and chilling?
No. So I think long distance relationship, as you said, it's about how you go into that long distance relationship with the intention, because some have good stories about long distance relationships, others have a bad story about it. Right. So I think when you decide to go that route, just be sure on what you want. Any red flags, if this person doesn't, if you say hi and you're blue ticked, do not catch feelings, right?
Oh, no, we don't. We are older.
Probably.
Do you know how many times I read your message and then I don't reply? Because not because I'm ignoring you, honestly, because something else distracted me.
Exactly.
I always tell people when they come to apologize and say, oh, I'm sorry, I reply. I say, no, we only reply when we have time. And I don't know your schedule. So I cannot expect you to be waiting for my message and you don't know when I reply to you. Sometimes I wake up in the middle of the night and I can't sleep and I message you and you're snoring. Do I expect you to reply because in the next morning when you woke up late for work and you decided, let me blue tick Elizabeth and I will reply her later when I've reached to work?
Yes. Oh, come on. That is something I don't know if we understand that by experience or we are taught in class. I don't know, or it's
No, yeah, now that's why
through
we are saying
mentorship
emotional
or-
intelligence. No, we cannot be taught in class. This is something that we as individuals need to learn. And we, like you said, emotional intelligence will teach us empathy and will teach us patience.
True.
Talking, I've had you mention a lot of time, red flag, red flag, red flag. What are
Yes.
the toxic dating behavior that we as individuals should watch out?
One.
Uh-huh.
I'll start with the obvious one: getting late or not honoring a date. That is a very, 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 very bad behavior
Oh,
in
come on.
dating.
There's traffic. Everybody's buying a car.
Leave early.
To use
Leave
Uber.
early.
But I'm coming from work. It doesn't take
Can I
30 minutes to look this good. It needs 2 hours.
I love giving personal experiences.
Um,
I got late thrice for a date,
out.
and I was told
Uh-huh.
my friend,
Uh-huh.
I don't want a work like that. This is not me. So I'm sorry. Thank you. And that was the end of it.
No, I am applauding because I agree. Don't tell me traffic. Don't tell me. In fact, I got late for a date like 2 times, and it was the same person. But I think it's
Yes.
because of those what you mentioned, red flags. So those were the rare times when I have ever been late. You know me, I'm always way ahead of time. But all of a sudden, I'm finding myself, I'm going for these dates, but I'm getting late.
You're getting late.
That's when I realized there's a red flag somewhere that is not working out, and I need to analyze it. When I finally found it, I was like, oh, this cannot work. That's the reason why. Yeah, exactly. So when your behavior changes, like, yeah, I agree. If you need to, getting late should not be an acceptable behavior, because like you say, you have things to do, I have things to do. If we agree to meet at 7 p.m., let's meet at 7 p.m. Conclude by 9 p.m. If the night is not that great, but if the night is that great, we can continue talking.
Yes.
What is the other toxic behavior?
Toxic behavior number 2.
Uh-huh.
Excuses.
Oh.
Excuses.
Uh-huh.
An excuse. See, you're giving excuses from something. Let's go back to number 1. You give an excuse for being late for a date.
Traffic.
Do you have you ever given an excuse for showing up at the airport to catch a plane late? No.
In fact, because Mombasa Road was getting constructed, there is a day I had to leave for the airport 6 hours before time.
Yes.
And it took me 3 hours to get to the airport.
I've missed the plane thrice.
I have never, be early. So when I start getting late, figure out there's a red flag somewhere. So yeah, I understand the excuses.
You understand.
I totally
giving excuses of everything. Like, I didn't read your chat because of this happened. I didn't do this because of this happened. See,
I'm very busy.
First time it's okay.
Come from work.
First time it's okay. Yes. First time it's okay. Second time it's fine. Third time, you have a problem, Gina.
No, I agree, my dear, because like I always say, if you have time for something, you'll want it. I wake up at 3 a.m. because that is the only time I can exercise. So I've set my alarm to be 3:30, and then the second alarm will be at 4. The first one is to trigger my mind and go, okay, you have something to do in 30 minutes. The second one is like, you no longer have time. You need to come out of bed and you need to exercise. Does exercising make me lose weight? No. In fact, I tell people it makes me increase weight, because based on my hormone types, I'm those people who should sleep. But they're like, why do you exercise? Because it is healthy to exercise. I would rather be a fat, healthy person than a thin person with so much whatever. And that's the same thing with dating. Why am I creating an excuse for not coming to meet you? Because I like, oh, I registered for 3 exams. No, I hear you. Excuses should be a no. Any other? Any other red flag we should watch out? And don't tell me violence, because the ladies talked about violence and I said, let's not talk about violence, because we know the moment somebody, whether it's a man, whether it's a woman, they give you a slap or whatever,
Yes.
the moment you walk out. So any other apart from violence?
So we're not gonna talk about violence.
Go ahead.
I think that is obvious. We should discuss that as an obvious toxic behavior that should not happen in the dating process, right?
No, I agree. And I like the fact you brought about balance, because people think about balance as physical, like the way I said, you should not hit behavior. But I'm sure you're going to look at violence from another angle. Give it to us.
There's physical and there's emotional. Have you ever been tortured emotionally? Because I have a friend who's good at that.
I have not yet, because you know me. I am Mr. Kieti, and Mr. Kieti did a very good one of making sure that I was never emotionally blackmailed by anyone.
And do you know emotional violence is bad than physical?
Yeah, because people cannot see it.
Exactly, they cannot see it, and you don't actually understand why it's happening. If I give you a slap now, you know I've given you a slap because you said 1, 2, 3, or this happened.
Yes.
But if I'm too, let's talk about you trying to tell me something, and the way I respond to it, not verbally, through gesture or something,
exactly,
that will have a problem in you, but you don't understand why I'm doing that, right?
No, I know, I get it. And I tell people sometimes emotion is bad because you're there, I'm there trying to talk to you. Yes. And like we're trying to have like this conversation, and you go, excuse me, that's the reason why you're fat. Now, where did my fatness have to go with the conversation we're having?
True.
Oh, you're like, no, I want, and I tell people, this is where people try to change people, whatever. Yeah. They're like, oh, I wish you can dress like that lady. You know, she dresses very well. Or I wish you can dress like that man. Oh, why are you not doing things like that man? Why are you not with that man or that woman?
Or Ngina, why are you not making breakfast like your friend so and so? She cooks very well.
You go be with that friend. I like my sleep and I don't even take breakfast. No. And I tell people the moment I know dating is about merging of two personalities. But the mistake we do is when we try to change people, because people can only change if they want. There's a difference between changing for good and, like we said, emotional manipulation, whereby you just negativity to mock these people. And maybe in the month of mental health, I'm glad that people can talk about it. And it's happening a lot in dates. And if you want to check out Instagram. How many people are killing themselves because you wake up one morning and realized that they were depressed? And people are like, but the pictures they used to post on social media showed how happy they were.
Very true.
He never lifted a finger to hit her. Yes, but he opened his mouth to tell her how stupid she is, how insignificant she is, how she helped him be where he is, and yet she did absolutely nothing than just pose over there.
True.
No. I get it, those toxic behavior, and people. That's why I'm saying emotional intelligence will come in handy, because you begin to realize that. Especially I tell people I'm an interracial dater, so what is acceptable in one community might not be acceptable in another community, and that's why you need to be very, very sensitive about the person. You talked about like our culture where we have to pay dowry. Do you know how much that conversation goes? Like, why am I buying you?
True.
You're not buying me, you're just appreciating the parents. No. Why do I need to give? But do you know how much? Because my friends were married, I'm the one who goes there and I look at the guy and I say, welcome to Africa, and especially Kenya. This is not India where we will pay dowry. This is men pay dowry. And we are not going to this woman's place empty-handed. And it's not because the parents are trying to please you. And don't confuse it that you're buying the lady. You're just appreciating the parents.
The parents, yeah.
Remember, you have taken away their breadwinner. You're taking away their daughter.
Yes.
And by doing that, you're just telling them, I am capable of taking care of your daughter. I am capable of looking after her financially. You don't buy me. Yeah. My dear, if we get a divorce, they will return your thing, including the interest.
Exactly. And that will be the end of it.
And that will be the end of it. And we'll say, yeah, we tried. So you brought 50 cows, which were worth at this price at this place, inflation, whatever. We will return everything. You are not buying me. My parents are not selling me. You're just appreciating them. But the same way the traditional says you can pay dowry, the same way they says you can return every little bit of it. And I like our tradition because I think our tradition are the only ones which have a lot of leeway in empowering both men and women.
And women, yeah.
It's not that it's one-sided, and it's not that it's I'm bragging here because we are from Cumberland.
Yes.
To do good. No bad work. Ignore the first. Just go to the second page. Learn about our culture.
Our culture, yeah.
Ignore what men are saying there in the first one. But at the end of the day, like you said, toxic behavior should be a red flag, and we should try and avoid them. Communication, emotional intelligence should be utilized to utilize this. Now, I'm going to ask a very difficult one. You come from a community where a man is allowed to be polygamous. What about dating a woman who's polygamous? How do you feel as an African man?
That is a big no for me.
Oh, come on, South Africa just legalized this.
Listen.
Continue.
Polygamous, do you mean? Okay.
Yes, polygamous.
Do you mean polygamous by the aspect of cheating in the dating process?
No. Please do not confuse polygamous with cheating. This is whereby two partners, consensual partners, agree to date multiple people. It could either be an open relationship or it could be a polygamous, polyandry, like the way South African just legalized that women can marry two men. That's the one I'm talking about.
Men will not want that. I'm telling you.
I thought they want two women.
Men will not. I think that comes from the aspect of playing safe. You want to play safe. If one party is not working out, you have options, right?
No. I think it's all about the fact that I don't think, in my opinion, I always tell people, this is me. I don't believe that you can love one person for the rest of your life. We are meant to love multiple people, and rather than cheat, and that's why the cases have been cheating. Why don't we just sit down and agree that we are gonna do it this way, and we are gonna keep it this way to be safe, so that we don't bring AIDS, gonorrhea, syphilis into the relationship. And do you want to hear about it? Do you not want to hear about it? Okay, that's my opinion, because I always tell people, I don't think I'm non-monogamy, because for me, I believe in being monogamous, because you can't just love one person for the rest of your life. And I always say I'm the most famous single monogamous person. I am so open to having multiple, but I'm always single. But I don't believe in
You've subscribed to Beyonce's All the Single Ladies anthem.
Yeah. Raise your hands up. No.
So back to our topic about
I need, and especially because you're an African man, you know, those ones who go like, share my what with
exactly. Why should I date you? And you're dating someone else? How do I know that at your terms and conditions of dating on the other side
You don't.
aren't conflicting with mine, right?
Ah, now we
You as
understand.
Gina, you can decide to tell me that your preference is that no sex before marriage, right?
Yes, with a
And
very big
I
question mark.
and I subscribe to that. But
Mhm.
on the other side, those are not your terms and conditions, right?
Yes, because I don't believe actually in sex after marriage. You might get surprises that are you're both non-compatible. And sorry for saying that in a country where sex talk is illegal, but I
True.
don't prescribe for that because
Exactly.
you might, like you said, I might meet somebody and they're like, oh, let's chill, let's wait after so that you can give me disappointment for the rest of my life.
And you've been waiting for 1 year.
I've been waiting for 1 year. And then you give me this horrible experience. Hey, Chineke, I need to test drive that car before I know what I'm getting myself into. Forgive me, God.
Exactly.
I will go back to Kenya and I will invite you for the dowry process. And once we finish the dowry process, we can start.
Yes.
Figuring out, are we going to the next or are we returning the dowry?
The dowry, exactly.
No, it's true, because honestly, however much, and I tell people I don't want, dating is a complex process, because merging two souls is not about the physical, it's about the emotional, it's about the spiritual, it's about the financial,
Yeah.
and it's about the
True.
intimacy. I
True.
have had people who were great friends, we could talk, okay? They gave me very good business ideas. They were there for me when it came to my spiritual journey. They were there. But when it came to the whole intimacy thing, hey, Jesus.
Zero. Total disappointment.
It is, and it is not them, it is not me, it is the body that never decided to agree. Now imagine if I decided, Chineke, let me go get married to this. And then you are there telling me about being non-monogamous. I'm supposed to remain with this for the next 60 years because I got married at 21.
It's very complex.
Now I'm even seeing why people cheat, because if this is how you date, let's open it up. Any final words to the listeners?
I think the dating process should be well laid out. You guys should go into the dating process with an objective. Do not be afraid of anything.
Nice.
If that person is not yours, they're gonna leave.
Oh, exactly. I like that.
Yes, they're gonna leave. And the following day you'll get someone else. Don't be afraid. Out there, people, we have good souls. We have good people. And remember, we have bad people also, right?
True. The horror stories we hear, we are not gonna discuss about them. But yeah, and I agree. Be safe.
And do not try to hide your cards, your bad cards in the dating process.
Oh, so they should accept you for who you are.
Yes, be honest. See, by being honest, that person will be able to understand you easily. Yes, because we human beings can pretend. You know that, right?
No, yes, I know. I've heard the stories of when we started dating, they were like,
yes.
But now, I do not even know the person who is in front of me. So those are the people who are hiding.
Yes, absolutely. And the dating process it's a very interesting one.
I agree.
I've had successes of it. I've had bad failures.
No, I know about it. I know those ones of you are expecting heaven, you get hell, but you're like, it's a lesson.
Yes. And you meet people you like and love, but it doesn't work. It doesn't work. And at the end of the day, you sit down and ask yourself, what is the problem? Is it me? Is it you?
I always say it is not a curse. It's not a curse.
But at the end of the day, we gotta get there at some point. We'll be there.
True. Yes. If you listen to last year's winner of Toastmaster, the lady, By the time she
Yes.
was 40, she was
Yes.
homeless, broke,
Uh-huh.
living under the sister's roof, and had no
Yes.
life. By the time she was 43, successful,
Yes.
married, and had a first child. So if she can do it, I agree with you. We all can do it.
We all can do it.
Yes. Thank you.
Those are my sentiments about dating.
No. I appreciate you coming and telling us. We are so glad for Ladi, because for me, I never thought that I should have an objective and should lay it out on the 4th and 5th day. So this was a great learning experience. We appreciate you, Mack, for coming and sharing with us. This was not easy, but thank you very much. Now the listeners,
thank you so much.
Yes, you're welcome.
Thank you so much, Ngina. We can talk about this dating day after day after day. There's so much to discuss.
I know. I tell people, the problem is that the region I'm in restricts me with religion, politics, and sex. So when it comes to dating, I can only just cross the surface and not go deep into it, so that I just maintain the law of the country. So thank you, listeners, for understanding. But should we have a part 2? We will figure out after this segment. Thank you for listening and have a lovely Friday. See ya.
Thank you too. Bye.
Bye-bye.